Yes, it's still the weekend show, and this morning we're looking at coping with infidelity in marriage. With the high rates of infidelity, divorce, single parenting that we're beginning to notice in our society, we feel it's very, very important for us to look at this institution that have been revered across generations. How do we reduce this time? Because we know it certainly affects our society.
And today being Global Parents Day, a day set aside by the United Nations to celebrate parents all over the world, we felt there is need for us to talk about marriages. And yes, that was how we decided to talk about coping with infidelity in marriage. And we have two beautiful guests, resourced people, especially in a topic of marriage, where it concerns the youths and the young people. And we have Pastor James Adeboboye. Pastor James is a youth pastor and also a marriage counselor. And we also have Helen Emmanuel. You're welcome to the weekend show.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'd like to go to the street and find out what people feel about infidelity. How do you cope with infidelity in marriage?
Welcome to Street Waka on the weekend show. Hi, I'm Ogenere Gogome. Today's episode, we're going to be focusing on dealing with infidelity in marriages. Let's go back to the streets and find out what the public has to say about this.
What na talent onye angu nwetele nje gba n'ezi the same thing with nwanya maka na nwoke rafulu ben ya rafulu ezi no ya je kpari ba n'ezi ichozo na nwunye go no ụfọdụ ụmụ nwanyị na-arafu kwa dibe onye nucha dị ọka na-akwụgharị ọ dọrọ mma ayoba chukwu bụ n'igwe ka o meele anyị ebele. Nwoke na-agba n'ezi ka o chegherie, nwanyị na-agba n'ezi ka o chegherie.
It's done more harm than good. It's not good. You have to stick to your partner. Stick to your partner because there are many sicknesses nowadays and it's not good. You see divorces here and there, fighting, it brings separation. So it's not good. You have to stick to your partner so that the family will be going.
I think there's this mentality about men afraid to cheat. You know, we Africans, we have this mentality that I can go out, I'm a man, I can cheat, I can have as many women as I want to, but it's wrong. You know, a man doesn't want a wife to cheat on him. He should also not cheat. He should also, stay loyal to his wife, and by so doing, I think the home front will be very peaceful. Respect and discipline has to be in place. Men should learn how to respect their wife, be loyal to them, and him in question will also receive the same thing in return.
It's so painful. Even in our Bible, let us to know that cheating is not good, and it's a sin for a man to leave his wife, whom he loved, whom he feel that he lost, and went outside dating another woman. For what? That woman that you are dating outside, is it better than the one that you kept inside? You're supposed to stay with his wife alone. Likewise, the woman, when you talk of diseases and so many things, it's outside marriage that you contracted this disease. If you are not with your husband or your wife, there's likely that you will contact disease outside. And you come and rule your family, come and rule your marriage with that disease. Why can't we? What are we looking outside when you have it at home?
Okay, the first one is Infidelity is a man who sleeps outside his home, or a woman who, let me just put it this way, adultery. Pastor James, or should I just call you James? I think the pastor is important, right? Okay, so what is infidelity?
I think to me, infidelity is the state of not being faithful to your partner. It could be your wife, it could be your husband. That is what infidelity is all about. You are not faithful. It is expected of you as a man to be faithful to your wife. So also it is also expected of you as a woman to be faithful to your husband.
Faithful.
Yeah.
Must you sleep with another man, or does faithfulness have to do with maybe you looking at another woman in an adulterous way, or maybe like some people say when you care for another person's wife, there's some kind of care you show to another woman and you're obviously not being faithful. So can you only say a husband is being unfaithful when he eventually sleeps with the woman?
No, it's not when he eventually sleeps with a woman, when he cares for someone else, much more than he does to his wife.
He's already been unfaithful.
Yes.
So we're going to say of infidelity or unfaithfulness is that state of mind placing your wife behind
another
woman. The importance you place on your wife is lower than what you place on another person. Now, what causes it? Is it unpreparedness before marriage, or just is it in the nature of human beings to cheat in marriage?
Well, so many things are the cause of unfaithfulness or infidelity in marriage, and I think one of them could be lack of understanding between the spouses, or between the spouse, or sometimes lack of communication when couples don't communicate with each other, or when couples are not sensitive to each other's needs or requirements. When a man keeps telling his wife, this is what I want, this is how I want my things done, and the wife is taking the man for granted, eventually the man may decide to look elsewhere, or if probably he gets someone else that is able to respect, that is able to love what he loves, he may decide to tilt towards the person.
Okay, so from what you're saying now,
yes,
I'd like to ask you, James, they say most times men use the excuse, man is polygamous in nature. So is that why men cheat?
Is it true?
Because they are, is it true? Are men polygamous in nature?
You may choose to live your life in that aspect. It's all about choice. But according to God's mindset, God's plan, marriage is for man and a woman.
Okay.
You understand? It's not for man and women.
So that means man is not polygamous in nature?
No. If we are to abide or follow the principles of God, because God instituted marriage, we should take note of that.
Yes.
He's the one that established marriage. He has the manual for marriage. So for us to fulfill what marriage is all about as a man, you must read the manual. If some of the products we are buying in the market, they have their manual. If you want that product to work for you, you want to use it well, you must strictly abide with the manual, and through that you'll be able to know how to operate and how to use it effectively.
Okay, so they say you're trying to say man is not polygamous in nature, but then since history we hear a lot of men claim so. Is there anything the wives are not doing well that makes the husband look out? Just tell us some of the things.
Okay, for example, if you are not showing love to your spouse, if the woman is not showing love, because you are to, I do advise people when you are planning to go into marriage, even if the love is not there, try to develop it. You understand? Once love is developed in relationship, you'll be able to satisfy the person.
Okay.
And you'll be able to ready to what? To please the person. Love is one of the factors. I guess that once you love your spouse, you will not like to cheat on him or her.
It's all about love.
It's all about love for now.
All about love.
All about love.
Okay, so
All about love. So men will say, I provide everything she needs, and she still demands for more.
everything.
That's
What does that
what
love
I'm trying to say is a bedrock of everything.
Yes,
I get
what
it.
I'm trying to say, the definition that men give or women give,
It's like
I've provided everything he wants.
Or she may be, maybe also they may be maybe the man is looking for attention and is not getting the attention from the woman.
Yeah.
That may make the man to look
I
elsewhere.
want to ask this question to
Okay.
the woman because you'll be on the better side to understand when the man is not showing that attention.
Okay.
That might make, in this situation,
Yeah.
men will always say, "Okay, gotcha."
No, she can't understand.
Okay, is it not money that she wants? I have
Okay.
given her. What does she still want that I have
Giving
not
her
provided?
everything.
What is that attention that a woman will need that it seems men are not paying attention to?
Yes, you kept saying attention, attention, and he has equally said it's all about love. A woman truly wants to be loved. Women wants to be loved, they equally want attention. You can give me everything in the world. If I don't get you, if I don't have your ears, I don't have your heart, I don't think I've gotten anything at all from you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so let's get down to the real deal. How do you deal with it? If you notice your wife is not showing you love, how do you deal with it? Because most people feel the best way to deal with it is go to another woman who will show you love. But now we're saying is one man, one wife. If you notice your wife is being unfaithful to you, what are you supposed to do?
I will start with coming together. We sit together. Let him understand. I would like her to understand those things I'm expecting from her. We talk it over. We look at it. This is the area I'm expecting you to come in, and this is the area also you should be expecting me to come in. Let there be a discussion. Let there be a round table discussion to iron some things out. You understand? And let her know that it is expected of you. It is your duty to love me. And the Bible made us to know, he said, love one another. So we are in this game together. You must love me. Just like I used to say after my service on Sunday, I used to tell the congregation, please tell your neighbor I love you like that. Tell your neighbor I love you compulsorily. And then tell your neighbor I love you by fire, by force. Because God is love.
Okay.
God is love. So we should learn to love.
To love, irrespective of.
If at all levels, you should be ready to love.
But in a situation where both the two people in that marriage have started feeling bored, tired, exhausted, they have tried those communication and it seems it's not working. What should they do? How do they deal with it? Should they just separate and go their separate ways, or what would be the solution?
Well, one of the things they should do is, come to terms with the fact that they are getting tired of this marriage and try to work things out. And how would they work things out? They can call each other and tell each other about how they feel about each other, how I feel about you and how you feel about me. We should be able to, yes, we should be able to tell each other, how the relationship has now condescended to a particular level. We should be able to do that. And when that is done, agree also on how to build up the relationship. You can pray, you can fast, you can go to a marriage counselor, maybe bring in a third party like a pastor, tell him how you both are doing in your marriage. And then I believe that through the help of a pastor, or as you both, confide in each other and tell each other how you feel about each other, the situation will be resolved instead of
Pastor,
breaking up.
Divorce is not an option.
I think.
No, what I'm trying to say is, if you notice your wife has been unfaithful or your husband has been unfaithful, you've tried everything. At what point can you say, I'm done?
Just based on what the scripture, the Holy Bible made us to know, Malachi chapter 2. He said, God hates divorce.
Okay.
So you are not meant to work. You are meant to stay together. So so there is no place for divorce in marriage.
But some people at home watching will say, if you pass through what I'm
Especially
passing,
this generation.
yes.
That is
And when you look at the children that are coming out from those marriages, you see that some of them are beginning to have serious societal issues because of the kind of family where they come from.
Yeah.
And the parents feel the only solution to save these ones will be to separate. What would be the solution?
I think they just like she said, number one, prayer, and seek for counsel. Through that, you can restore the home. And I think I have something like all 3 hours.
Okay.
It's all about come together to repair the damage.
Okay.
And after that, rebuild it. And the third one is all about reconnect yourself.
Wow, the 3 hours. Okay, Pastor, please, your last word, an advice to couples out there, especially couples who feel they are dealing with infidelity.
I will advise them that they should try to allow communication in their marriage. Once the communication is given a chance, things can work out and they will have what they are believing God for.
Ma, your last word.
I also would like to say that if you are having a case of infidelity, if your partner is cheating on you, the next thing to do is not to, I would like to advise rather that you should not seek revenge. You should accept the feelings, have a healthy mindset about it, and, sit down, pray about it, get a counselor, and trust God to help you fix your home. If there were things you weren't doing right before, trust God to help you fix them. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor James Adeboboye and Helen Emmanuel. Thank you so much for coming on Weekend Show. I hope you do grace our show next time.
Anytime we call on you. All right, stay with us. It's still the Weekend Show, and we're bringing you back-to-back issues that we want to look at. Stay with us.